Danielle Rothman is a brand new Ola and Hebron resident. Straight from Seattle, Washington, she came right off her Nefesh B'Nefesh flight and went to do her Sheirut Leumi national service in Hebron.
There are 29 kids here in the Gan. I already love all of them. They all have the tremendous zchut to grow up here where the Ma'ara is there.
My name is Danielle Rothman and I come from Seattle, Washington. And this year I'm doing national service in Hebron. So last year I came to Israel, as is the common practice, to go to seminary for my year after high school. And I went to seminary in Yerushalayim. And during that year, I decided that Israel was the place to be, and I wanted to stay here. And the next step was to do national service in some way. So I looked into different national service options, and I checked out different places. A lot of religious girls do national service as full-time volunteer work instead of going to the army. So I checked out different volunteering options. I came and looked at Hebron and loved it. And my parents are open-minded and were willing to let me stay in Israel. My father preferred I go to university in the U.S., and I applied to universities in the United States in case I wanted to take that route in the end. But in the end, when they saw how much I loved it here, and they saw how dedicated I was to staying here, they let me stay, and they let me make my own path through life. So when they heard I was going to Hebron, they also weren't so excited. My mother didn't really know what Hebron was, and my father knew it only from the media. And they got used to that idea as well. And thank God my father came and visited me this year, and he was here for Shabbat and loved it and understood why I was here after he came here and visited. Aliyah was something that I thought about for a few years before I decided to make Aliyah. For my last year in high school, it was an idea I flirted with a lot. And then when I was here for my seminary year in Israel, it clicked with me that this was the place where the future of the Jews is, and that I can't imagine raising kids somewhere else, and I can't imagine living my life somewhere else. After I realized that, it only made sense to stay. I could have gone back and I thought about going back and going to college and then coming back to Israel afterwards, but I thought it made more sense that if I wanted to be here in the long term, and I want to raise kids here, that I spend the time here, and I spend the time integrating into society and getting to know the land and getting to know the people. The first time I was here was the summer before 12th grade. And I was on an NCSY program, which is an Orthodox youth group in the U.S. And I came on a tour here with the youth group and loved it, and felt connected here, and felt like the people living here were really contributing something to Am Yisrael, and thought that, entertained the idea that maybe one day I would find myself here. During that trip, we met one of the national service girls who was in her year here. And so then when I decided to do national service, I remembered that there were girls here. And I remembered how much I loved it here. And I came back and looked for another visit and decided this was the place where I wanted to be. Because I knew that I wanted to work with kids. Whether or not Hebron would be a dangerous place to come to didn't play into my thinking that much. It certainly played into my parents' thinking. Thank God that I had the chance. I had a few chances to visit Hebron before I made my decision to come here for the year. And from my visits, the people were so warm, and I felt so safe that it didn't occur to me that I would be putting myself at risk by coming here for the year. I think people who get to know Hebron only from the outside and only from reading articles or on television or through the media have a much different image of the place than people who get to know it from the inside. And thank God, this year especially, I'm getting to get Hebron well from the inside. And the people living here are the warmest, most caring people that you'll meet. Their daily contributions to Am Yisrael are incredible. Even their kids' contributions, the kids who I teach in Gan, who are 3 and 4-year-olds, are contributing every day to Am Yisrael what many people don't contribute in their whole lifetimes. By living here, they contribute by living here because we need Jews in Hebron. And thank God, today how many people are there here? Close to 1,000? Thank God today there are many families living here, but that wasn't always the case. And people came here as true pioneers. And the fact that people continue to live here and continue to the lives that our forefathers lived here is vital to the future of Am Yisrael. The other thing I want that, besides for the people, the other things that make Hebron special are, first of all, the fact that it's one of the holy cities in Eretz Yisrael. And being in Eretz Yisrael itself is an amazing experience coming from outside of Israel. Dafka, coming to one of the holiest cities in Eretz Yisrael is a mind-blowing experience. Going to a place where every Shabbat I daven three minutes away at the Marat HaMachpelah, at the burial place of our patriarchs, where Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and Sarah, Rebecca and Leah are buried, is incredible. The fact that people walk there every day, that's where kids walk with their parents if they walk with their mothers if they take an afternoon walk, is a unique experience. The atmosphere in Hebron are the spearheads of the whole movement to settle the land of Israel as well. There's an atmosphere here of the people here see the importance of Jews living in Eretz Yisrael and of Jews settling the land, and they spend their whole lives on that mission, and they ingrain that mission into their kids, and their kids go and settle the land of Israel. And this was one of the most important missions that we have in this day and age, in a day and age where the world doesn't like Israel, where the world is constantly putting pressure on the Israeli government to give away land, and the Israeli government cedes to that pressure too much of the time. The people in Hebron are keeping the government in check, and are working on behalf of the rest of Am Yisrael to keep our nation in Israel, and to keep the land of Israel a place where Jews live, and Jews should live, and Jews can live anywhere, because that's not the case right now. And they're working every day to change that. In 10 years, I see myself living in Israel. I see myself, please God, married and with a family. Besides for that, I'm not sure. But those are the concrete goals I have in my life at this point. Next year, I plan on starting university, starting working on a degree at Hebrew University, and we'll see what comes of that. Making Aliyah means going up, and hopefully, whether we're born outside of Israel or in Israel, everyone goes up in their service to God in their lifetime, hopefully. And that's a goal that we all aspire to. And one of the ways that people who are born outside of Israel are privileged to be able to strengthen their relationship to God and strengthen their relationship to Am Yisrael is to make Aliyah to Eretz Yisrael, to go up to the land of Israel and to live here. And this is the place where the future of the Jews lies. This is the land that God gave us. One of the most important things in this day and age is that all of Am Yisrael realize that they're meant to come to Israel and to gather here and to raise their kids here and to continue the future of the Jewish nation in our land, in the land that God gave us.